My name is Yadasa Tolosa. I am, as usual, developing different educational videos and uploading onto my YouTube channel for you. Today, I'm going to present for you video 101. That means video 101, entitled as competency-based learning. Now onwards, I will provide lessons on TVT and related topics in the subsequent videos. So I would like you to pursue all my videos that I'm going to present for you subsequently. For instance, among those related videos to this are, say, competency-based occupational standard development methods, DACM or DACUM approach, SCI approach, occupational training standards, occupational standard to curriculum conversions, competency-based training assessment tools development, methods, vocational and career counseling, cooperative training, in-company training, qualification framework development, TVT policies and strategies. These are some of the issues that I planned to prepare and present for you. So once again, I would like you to pursue all my videos. So in order my video to reach you easily, I would like politely to request you to subscribe it and also share it so that others can find it easily. Now let me move to presenting this video 101 or video number 101 on competency-based learning. Well, what does competency means? Let us begin with this one. Of course, in the following videos or in the subsequent videos, the videos that are coming or following this one, this word will appear repeatedly: competence, competency, competency-based learning, competency-based teaching, competency-based learning and teaching, competency-based training, and so on. So it is better to understand what this term implies. Competency, when you say, it is defined as the capability to apply or use the set of related knowledge, skills, and abilities required to successfully perform work, functions, or tasks in the defined work settings. Yeah, there are other related words that we should know. Knowledge, what does knowledge mean? Skills means, abilities means. That is also what I'm going to present for you. For the time being, competency means it is the ability or the capability or the capacity to apply, put into effect, put into practice, or use what? The related knowledge. What does related mean? Related means related to the work, related to the work required, related to the work required in our environment. It is not simply the knowledge for the sake of getting knowledge, but to apply it, the skills to apply it, and also the attitude that we acquire in order to put it into effect when we work something. So it is also to the kind of knowledge, skills, and abilities that are required to what? To successfully perform. Successfully means we did something successfully, means we performed something successfully, means we are competent enough. One competent enough worker should have knowledge, skills, and acquire abilities or characteristics that make him competent enough, that make him do something successfully. So competency means that all things. The next one is still competence. Now, competence. Previously, we have seen competency, but now let us see what competence is. Competence, when you say, it is measured in terms of what learners are able to perform, solve problems, and demonstrate their understanding of key concepts. What does this mean? When we talk about competency, specifically we'll come soon to competency-based learning. It is all about measuring the competency in terms of what learners can perform, what learners can solve problems, what learners are able to demonstrate, what they have understood already during their learning, during their study. Now, if we understand what competence and competency mean, now we move to competency-based learning. Competency-based learning were defined differently. By the way, some scholars call it competency-based education. The others competency-based learning and teaching. The others competency-based teaching, competency-based training. Of course, training, when you say, it goes with technical and vocational education training. But competence-based learning, when you say, it goes with academic as well. Nowadays, in many countries, even universities and also some higher education institutes have embarked towards working or implementing competency-based learning approach. That's why I'm presenting this video, as I'm honestly speaking adept and practically experienced in competency-based learning design, development, implementation, and assessment. Now onwards, I'm going to present it not only theoretically but also practically how to implement it. Well, having said, competence-based learning, teaching and learning refers to the systems of instruction, assessment, grading, and academic reporting that are based on students that they have learned the knowledge and skills they are expected to learn as they progress through their education. So students should demonstrate what they have learned. Oh, so what we underline here is, look, it is competence-based teaching and learning system. It is based on students' demonstration, student achievement. Student achievement. Learning is not for the sake of learning. Learning should be for the sake of applying that knowledge, skills, and attitudinal changes towards applying it in the working environment. That is it. Well, having said this, what are the requirements in order to implement competency-based learning? What are the requirements? What should training institutions or learning institutions or universities should do before they implement competence-based learning, or in order to implement competence-based learning? This is very important. Ideally, the following should be done. Not only ideally, but also practically. Of course, it is not easy to implement this in the way we talk about it or in the way we think it. That is what the experience show. Specifically, it is very difficult to implement competence-based learning in developing countries, practically, even though most developing countries are professing in order that they are about to begin it. Some of them say that we have begun, we are exercising it. Of course, the following requirements are highly needed. So they should know, first of all, if they have the capability to fulfill these requirements. What are these requirements? In this video 101 and in the next video 102, I will present more about the requirements and also elaborate what it means, what they mean for that matter. CBL, when I say competence-based learning, requires learners to develop mastery of each of the competences or skills at their own pace and offers a more personalized path to course completion. What does this mean? One, at their own pace. What does at their own pace means? At their own pace means individuals. There are different types of learners, as we know: fast learners, medium learners, slow learners. Yeah. So all of them should move or go based on their own pace. Some of them go fast. The fast learners should go fast and go forward. They should not be refrained from going forward. They should not necessarily wait till the slow learners reach them. Slow learners approach them. Till the slow learners cope up with them. No, they move on their own pace. This is a very important issue. Another issue in this case is personalized path. Yeah, the same personalized. When you say some people move fast, some people move slow, and medium. So they have to move in that way. Another requirement in order to implement competence-based learning is this one. This one. CBL requires learning strategies that address individual learners' differences. Yeah, individual learners. As I've said, already there are individual learners, there is differences depending on the way they learn, depending on the environment, depending on the real situation of the education, and also or institute, depending on the family status, the way the family helped them, and there are many others. Anyways, they have to there should be a kind of strategy that address all these individual learners differences. Another requirement is CBL replaces the conventional model in which time is fixed with model in which the time is variable. Yeah, the time should be variable. What does this mean? The time should be variable. When you say, what does this mean? What does this mean? That is a very important term. As you know, in conventional model, time is fixed. What that time is fixed means there is a course for that. For instance, in Ethiopian case, in my country case, school began or opened in the September and ended in June. There are two semesters. Semester 1 till June, I mean to January. Then after February up to June, there is a second semester. So after June end, July and August are summer vacation. That is the way they do. This is true for conventional model of or learning or education system. But in competence-based learning, the time for each course should not necessarily be fixed. It's variable, depending on the situations, depending on the speed of the learner, depending on the institute's capability, and so on. So there are other issues. So, and also, one student should not necessarily get or enroll into school in September. One might have come in December whatsoever. So, anyways, what is to be underlined is not about when to start and about when to the end, but to show that the time frame is variable as such. That is one issue. Well, still another issue regarding the requirement of CBL is this one. That is, CBL requires structured learning to demonstrate learning in clearly articulated competences. What does this mean? What does this mean? Articulated competence means, what does competence mean to this issue? That is what we're going to see for the time. What does articulated competency mean? So let me show you one example. For instance, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is one of the courses to be given, say, in school, say for Department of Management, whatsoever. It is common course for that matter. Now, they have about 6 competences, for instance. Competency number 1, getting aware of entrepreneurial competences. The second competence or unit of competence, developing entrepreneurial competencies. The third unit of competence, utilizing conditions of business environment. The fourth one, developing entrepreneurial strategies. The fifth unit of competence, project identification and selection. Then the sixth one is basics of business administration and business plan elaboration. Okay, there are about 6 units for that matter here that I've read for you. Now, these are competences. So, what did it say? CBL requires structured learning to demonstrate learning in clearly articulated competencies. So, competencies should be developed. Competencies should be developed step by step. That means it is after the coverage of Unit 1 that Unit 2 comes. Anyways, in the following video, in the coming videos or subsequently coming videos, I will show you how competency-based training, these competencies are developed for that matter, how competencies are developed, how occupational standards are developed, and also how curriculum are converted from occupational standards and the like. So that's all. Another issue when we talk about competence-based learning is breaks away the traditional classroom model where every student studies the same subject matter at the same speed, at the same. What does that mean? That means uh, what I have already mentioned that students there are different types of students. We classify students in different ways depending on their learning experience, depending on their learning capability, and the like. So what you should do is every student should study the same subject matter at the same speed. Is not a principle in competency-based learning. It should be it should be on their own pace, as I've already mentioned earlier. Another issue is competence-based learning. In competence-based learning, what is required is competence-based learning emphasizes on what learners are expected to do rather than simply focusing on what they are expected to know. Yeah, of course, knowledge is very important, vitally important, but that knowledge that is acquired, that is going to be acquired by a student, is in order to put it to in use, or to make use of it, to practice it, to make use of it when say in a workplace. So what are expected to do in order to do something, such kind of knowledge should be required. So those knowledge should be identified. Knowledge should not be just for the sake of showing others that somebody is knowledgeable in the case of computer-based learning approach. Another issue that should be concerned when we talk about computer-based learning is it requires educational institutions' commitment to excellence. What does this mean? It requires educational institution commitment to excellence when say that educational institute, whether it is a university or college or higher education institutions, they have to fulfill all requirements that are needed in order to implement or put into place the competence-based learning. That means there are materials that are needed, there are classrooms that are needed, there are teachers that are adept or experienced on computer learning teaching. So they have to work towards that. Simply because the reason why I have presented this issue here is there are some teachers on some institutes who embark or began to implement competence-based learning without any prior preparation. There are many prior preparations, so one have to think of it before they implement. That is a very important issue that should be put. That should be emphasized for that matter. Okay, now thank you very much, all of you. Now in next video, competency-based learning, that means CBL requirements part 2 will continues. Till then, till we meet there, bye-bye.